traditional hospital indemnity world, if someone's hospitalized for 24 hours, they're going to get a benefit that's payable to them. Now, many other plans out there today will say, well, if you're under observation for 5 days, we'll pay you that. If you're in there for 10 days, you don't get that. With us, you can be in there for 10 days, 20 days, it doesn't matter. For observation, we'll still pay out that benefit that's necessary. But also, in addition to all that, is that we also pay a benefit if a client is hospitalized and discharged in the initial 6 hours to 24 hours. So a lot of those folks that get discharged in the 22nd hour, 23rd hour, and then they call and they say, oh my gosh, I still got a copay, but I can't get a benefit because I didn't reach the 24-hour threshold. Well, with our plan, you'll send a daily benefit amount, even if it was between 6 to 24 hours.
This is Justin Stark again, and today I have a co-host with me, Jeff Center. Welcome yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And we also got Demetri. Did I say that correct?
Right.
All right. How do you say your last name?
It's Simos.
Simos. Demetri Simos with Gtl Guaranteed Trust Life. And today we're going to do a product portfolio review, and they have some interesting information regarding how it can partner with, major health insurance and Medicare Advantage plans. And you guys actually have a Medicare supplement product that seems to be pretty competitive too, right?
We dabble a little bit of everything in the senior market for sure.
Well, can you give us a background on GTL for those that are listening that may or may not be familiar with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. GTL has been around since 1936, so a pretty old company, family-run business still. And we're very fortunate that we've been in the senior market for many, many years. And, back in 2005, when Medicare Advantage, kind of started really kind of getting popular, we decided with some help from partners in the field, came up with our hospital indemnity plan, the Advantage Plus. And so we've been doing our hospital indemnity plan now for 17 years and going strong and constantly always updating and tweaking the product. And pretty happy with the overall penetration, and can always do more, right?
Well, I'm curious because we're, just on the brink of the annual election period, and I know that's big time rolling for a lot of people. It's like the Super Bowl for Medicare, right?
Absolutely.
There's tons of applications to process and lots of service work too. But on your supplemental health side, specifically related to the hospital indemnity plan, could you share like some maybe exclusive features that you have? I did a walkthrough this morning, but I would love to hear like some success story around that product. And because that's the hype right now, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the time of year, actually we're very fortunate that we have very good sales throughout the year with hospital indemnity, but right now is the big time. But from a product perspective, it's a very flexible product design. So you can choose a 1-day benefit period, 3 through 10, or a 15-day, $10 increments. Your base benefits are also include an emergency room and urgent care benefit at $150.
Okay.
That's restorable after 60 days of being out of the emergency room or urgent care. So it's restorable unlimited number of times.
So it's per benefit period.
Well, it's per every 60 days they'll restore the emergency room and urgent care, and then the benefit period will restore if the insured's out of the hospital for a consecutive 60 days.
So it's not limited to 1 or 2 times per year. It's per 60-day cycle.
Correct.
Okay, that's awesome.
And one of the other things that's I think really unique about our plan is that we don't define the difference between observation or confinement. Mm-hmm. We base everything based off of hospital hours. Traditional hospital indemnity world, if someone's hospitalized for 24 hours, they're going to get a benefit that's payable to them. Now, many other plans out there today will say, well, if you're under observation for 5 days, we'll pay you that. If you're in there for 10 days, you don't get that. With us, you can be in there for 10 days, 20 days, it doesn't matter. For observation, we'll still pay out that benefit that's necessary. But also, in addition to all that, is that we also pay a benefit if a client is hospitalized and discharged in the initial 6 hours to 24 hours. So a lot of those folks that get discharged in the 22nd hour, 23rd hour, and then they call and they say, oh my gosh, I still got a copay, but I can't get a benefit because I didn't reach the 24-hour threshold. Well, with our plan, you'll send a daily benefit amount, even if it was between 6 to 24 hours.
So just a 6 hour gets you vested into that feature. Okay. So is that a rider?
No, it's actually part of the base benefit of our Advantage Plus Elite product.
And do you guys define your benefits like in buckets, like some carriers do? They may have like, hey, here's the base bucket, and then here's like the rider bucket, or do y'all have anything like that? How you define that? Or
yeah, we'll do our base. We'll do our base plan, which is going to be hospitalization confinement benefits that you can choose from, and the emergency room benefit,
yeah,
and then also a mental health benefit. That's going to be your base plan.
okay.
And then we have a number of different riders that you could add on.
So it's extremely customizable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of Medicare Advantage plans are built like traditional health insurance, except, you know, they may or may not have a medical deductible or drug deductible. And then they have all these copays, which I actually don't mind the copay because it lets me predict my out-of-pocket cost. I mean, people say, hey, you know, I've got all these payments, but it's better than having a percentage, in my opinion.
True.
So, but then it has the maximum out-of-pocket, but still, you know, having an indemnity plan helps them, you know, cover their out-of-pocket costs. And we all know this, but just in case we have a consumer watching, yeah, that will cover your out-of-pocket costs, and it can be payable to you, right? You can do a reimbursement.
As a payable, we prefer that we pay the consumer, the client.
Okay.
To let them have control over their dollars. You know, we always suggest that you know, the client keeps their GTL information, you know, in general in a separate file at home, not be part of the wallet when they do the walletectomy at the hospital. You know, and get the assignment of benefits and such. So you know,
so if Jeff had a major medical plan and he had a fender bender and the ambulance takes him for observation, if he had the GTL hospital indemnity plan in the state of Mississippi, he could have designed it where it would pay on observation just in case he checked out in 22 hours or less.
You got it.
Man, you can't beat that. You
can't. Now to kind of add a little bit of scope to this, to this way, make sure we put some parameters in place so everybody understands, is that the issue ages for our plan is from ages 40 to age 85 in most states.
That's pretty broad, though.
Yeah. It's you know, definitely helps, you know, because we do also offer that 1-day benefit period, so you could get, you know, $1,000 to $2,500 as an option.
Oh yeah, like okay.
You know, so you could, so this way, if you do have an ACA type of plan scenario that you might have to worry about a higher 1-day confinement benefit, you can probably, you know, take care of that
to help knock out a deductible or whatever.
Right.
And so, since you brought up ages, what is that guaranteed issue age? I know if we have someone turning 65, he was waiting on it too. So what is that turning 65 guaranteed issue? How does that look like with you guys? It's different with a lot of carriers. I know usually you see 64 and a half to 65 and a half. That's most common, but you guys did something ridiculous.
Yeah, we did. Well, initially when we first came out with the plan in 05, we came out with the 64 and a half, 65 and a half.
Yep.
And then finally we said, you know what, let's pop it up a notch or two. So we went from 64 and a half up to age 68, guarantee issue.
That's so crazy, man. But hey, seriously though, a lot of people, that's a prime target for you guys to have that GI. I think so.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of folks are retiring later, you know, maybe not 65, maybe it'll be 66, 67. Gives them the opportunity also to be able to get in on a GI basis. Now, just remember that if your client hits 68, it's going to be too late for going GI. Okay.
That's
right. One thing.
You know, but, yeah.
Yeah, it can be 468. But even though it might be 68, you have to start answering some health questions. It's not that big of a deal because we only have 6 health questions. You know, so when you look at the health questions, it's 3-month hospitalization benefit question, the hospitalization question that, you know, I know some people are starting to gravitate towards that. We've been doing that now for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, 12-month look backs on some of the chronic conditions. You know, so, and then when we were talking about earlier about the product design and such, you know, the thing that when I talk about hospital indemnity, what should be presented, in my opinion, should be presented, obviously, the base benefit, ambulance riders, because that's you know, that's $100 to $400 benefits you can choose from. Air ambulances and also part of that. No hospitalization required. You also can add in a lump sum cancer rider. A lump sum cancer rider is a nice rider because obviously for growth spreading cancer, you get paid out X amount of dollars, but also we have a 25% cancer in situ benefit and a skin cancer benefit that's part of it. That's that we came up with years ago that we wanted to make sure that folks with squamous cell or basal cell skin cancer get paid $500 one time per year, 3 times over the life of the rider. So then you can also do a recurrence option too. So
And
now
that's
a lot of folks that get, I'm sorry.
And that's the hip.
That's on our hip cancer rider, yes.
Okay.
And it's also on our base cancer plans too, but
Okay.
we have it in both spots. But and then we also have a flexible skilled nursing benefit. We have an option 1 that you can go from days 1 through 50, or you can do option 2, days 21 to 100, which matches up a little bit better with MAs. And you can choose from 100 to 220 in benefit in $10 increments. So you can really dial that in for that client. And that's what I think is a great presentation for an MA client to say, hey, look, you know what? We could be talking about Medicare supplement today at $120, $130 a month, whatever that case is, right? Add a PDP, add another $30 for that, add a DVH for another $30 for that, for 180, let's say.
Yeah.
Now I'm showing you this for $60, $70 a month. That's going to be an issue age priced.
Yep.
So that's going to stay the same cost for you the whole time that you're going to keep this policy in force.
No
How's
rate
that sound
increase.
to you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, right?
Yeah, that's a really good driving point for us, is like no rate increases.
Yeah.
Being in Mississippi, it's been MedSup heavy for many years, and in marketing has seen this. We have been transitioning to Medicare Advantage at a rapid rate.
Yes.
And then having the option on the skilled nursing care to do different benefit period based on the MA style. I think that's pretty slick, because you don't see that. I notice you guys are pretty innovative. You're way ahead of the curve on what seems to be the hospital indemnity market, because I've seen a lot of different products, and there's a lot of good ones out there if we're honest, but this is pretty fancy. I'm liking it, man. This is great.
Oh, thank you. We
If you're an
appreciate it.
agent out there in HCC and you don't have this in your portfolio or in your downline to some degree, you're crazy. You got to get it. You got to get it. Hit us up at contracting@BobbyBrockInsurance.com if you have any questions. Now, I'm curious. I did a lot of research, and I do a lot of long-term care planning and home health care stuff. And I think home health care is becoming the new long-term care alternative. And I noticed you have that short-term care in the portfolio.
Absolutely.
Could you elaborate on that and the short-term home health care? There's 2 different ones, I believe.
You're correct. We have a couple different short-term care programs. One's called Recover Cash, which is a short-term nursing home product.
Yeah.
2 of the 6 ADLs to trigger the benefits. It's for 3 levels of care. It's for skilled care, custodial, intermediate care.
Okay.
I love that product. Just like you said, in lieu of LTC, but also in lieu of what if Medicare, if you're on a MedSup, doesn't pay for your skilled nursing benefit.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Medicare, you got to worry about 3 days of confinement, and then go into the skilled nursing facility, and then they might say no because, oh, by the way, that hospital put a 1-day observation, 2 days confinement, so we're going to kick that out.
Yeah.
But this plan, if you have that as part of it, you can say, you know what, 2 of the 6 ADLs are met, you're going to get your benefit that you thought you're going to get. If Medicare is paying, great, you'll still get your benefits. And if you stay longer than the 100 days, you'll have dollars available to take care of those that extra dollars that you might have to put out of your pocket. But the other part of the plan that we do have is a short-term home health care, which is a real easy product to get issued, quite frankly. I dare not say this, but it's almost, if you can fog a mirror, you can get this.
Okay.
It's pretty simple, guys, to kind of show you how simple it is. But, it's a really neat plan. It's got skilled component to it, and then it's got a nurse's aid component. Yeah. And then the part that a lot of agents like is the RX benefit that they really like. Because now you can get, so the RX benefit, we don't, so if a client has, scripts that are filled on a monthly basis, and if it's generic, they can get $10 per script filled.
Yeah.
If it's a brand name drug, it's $25 per script filled.
Yeah.
So now if you have plan A, you can get $300 per year. You got plans B or C, you can get up to $600 per year.
Yeah.
And if you're good with math, you can figure out that's a very good deal for the clients at the end of the day. One of the things that distinguishes our home healthcare plan than others that you hear out there is that our nurse's aid benefit doesn't require a hospitalization to get the trigger to go. A lot of other short-term home healthcare plans out there require you get hospitalized and then go in for nurse's aid, where ours is just 2 of the 6 ADLs.
Okay, so it's just
and then And then also with our RX benefit, another nice thing about that is that you don't have to incur a copay or cost to get that reimbursement back to you. That's a biggie right there.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
But one of the things I know that, and I hope you guys agree with me on this as we're talking. I know we talk a lot about hospital indemnity. We'll talk a lot about short-term home health care. One of the things that we always I don't want to forget about talking about is that what happens if a client doesn't qualify for some chance with a home hospital indemnity plan? What's another option to go to? I'll encourage everybody that's watching this, make sure you're able to pivot to some type of cancer plan, cancer, heart attack, stroke that we offer, or we offer a very unique cancer plan, Precision Care, which is a lump sum cancer plan.
Yeah. With
a genomic sequencing benefit built into it, which is the only one of its kind on the market. It's a phenomenal product.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, I'll try. It's a lump sum cancer plan that goes up to $75,000 in benefit for diagnosis of growth spreading cancer, and also part of the actual base benefit itself is the ability to go to our partner TGen and be able to get a fingerprint of the cancer that the person was diagnosed with to see what it is that makes that cancer unique, and then be able to match it up with a proper treatment to be able to take care of that cancer the first time.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell what it is. I mean, very simple in the way it works from an agent's perspective. You're not going to have to do a lot, other than sell the plan and then have the client file a claim when they get diagnosed with cancer. And then once the claim is paid, we'll send the information of the oncologist to our partner TGen, and TGen's the best in the country. They have the most advanced genomic sequencing tests in the country, and they're going to call out. They're going to call out to the oncologist and ask for a sample of the biopsy that was taken to be sent to them.
Yeah.
And then they'll do their genomic sequencing. They'll see the fingerprint, see all the information necessary, and then they'll reach out to the oncologist and say, okay, this is what we're seeing. Have you considered using this type of treatment method or whatever the case may be? And then now you got the client, the insured, on the right path to be able to beat cancer the first time, versus trying to, take stabs at it one or two times down the road,
Do you know off the top of your head if genomic sequencing is covered by Medicare?
As I understand it, genomic sequencing is covered by Medicare if it's a stage 3 or 4 diagnosis, if I recall correctly.
So it'd be reasonable and necessary at that point.
Yeah. So with ours is it could be stage 1 or stage 2.
Well, that's nice. So it'll pay out okay. That's great then.
So if a client can get paid out on the lump sum cancer benefit, they can do the genomic sequencing for any stage.
Oh, that's awesome. And
it's a really neat product. That's a product that, cancer in general, I would tell you, we probably don't talk about it enough, Justin.
What's the precision care cancer versus the lump sum?
Well, Precision Care is the one product I just brought up. The other cancer plan we have is traditional cancer, heart attack, stroke, where you can do a standalone cancer plan, a standalone heart attack, stroke plan, or you can combine all three under one umbrella.
Okay, that's neat. So, I know we keep saying indemnity. A lot of these products are indemnity style products. We're paying fees out to the client or to the provider if they wanted to do that. But I always recommend the client take the money, so that way, if the benefit's larger than what they owe, then they actually cut $1 or $2 in profit.
Absolutely.
And reserve it for something else maybe. But something I noticed on your website that not everyone has, and you're talking about filing claims. Well, you have at least one for clients, client view only, at least. I don't know about agent or servicing agent could see it or not, but you can file a claim on the website in the portal.
Absolutely. You go to gtlic.com under customer service, it'll say file a claim. An agent can access it too. And if they want to print it out for their client, or the client can go and print it out and fill it out and send it in. Very simple. It's a very simple process. Our claim forms are very streamlined.
Yeah.
When you look at our claim forms, you might see it says 3 pages or 4 pages.
Yeah.
It's not really 3 or 4 pages. It's a cover page about checklists of what you should be providing, so we can adjudicate the claim quickly. And then the second page would be the name and information and what's going on. And then usually it's a HIPAA form, and then the supporting documentation is what we need. It's pretty simple.
I don't want to overlook how important this is for reputation, branding, and retention. because when you have somebody, it's a really bittersweet moment whenever you issue out like a cancer policy to someone who you're cutting a $20,000 check to, or the carrier is, and they got diagnosed with something devastating in their life. And now you're giving them a check, and yeah, they're getting money, but at the same time, it helps, I think, in my opinion, lift the burden a bit. And then when you can make that process smoother by having a portal like that where you can, easily process claims, and there's a very nice process. It's all laid out. Here's your checklist. This is what you need. It's really, really beneficial, and the clients really appreciate a smooth process. I know I do as a client when I'm buying stuff. What about you?
Oh yeah. Well, that's customer service. And that's the biggest thing that keeps a customer is how good is your service, because you can have the best plan, crappy service, and it ain't going to work. You can have an okay plan, great service, and that's going to work.
Demetri, if Chick-fil-A burnt my food right now, I promise you I would thank them. It is their pleasure.
Yeah.
You see that branding they did? That's crazy.
Well, it is.
Okay. So
since you brought up technology real quick, I'm gonna jump into that for 2 seconds. I don't want to bore everybody with technology, but it's important in our day and age because everybody's talking e-apps. So we have a couple different platforms you could use. You could use our mobile app that you can download on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Just search up Gtl e-app. You'll see a turquoise colored icon, and then you'll know you got the right app, and you can just download it on. That's meant to be used when you're selling face-to-face, because you can capture signature right on the screen and then submit it right away. And the policies will get issued within 4 or 5 minutes after submission.
Through the app.
That's pretty good.
Yep, through the app.
Field agents, that is it.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing telephonic sales, then you can use our website. And then you'll go through our website version. We have some nice little tidbits on the website too that through that system that you would really enjoy. Especially if you're working in outside of your regular area. We have a tool called Fill the Gaps tool, and what that does is you can put in a zip code of where that client is, and it'll pull up all the MA plans that are available in that zip code. And then so you can select the MA carrier, what the plan type is. And then it's going to show you as a side-by-side, okay, here's your MA copays, the major ones that we talk about.
Oh.
And here's how the hospital indemnity plan can match up to that for you, Mr. Client. And then you can go right into an application process from there. And then if you're doing telephonic sales, we do ask that you do a voice verification call with a third-party voice verification service, which is a computer. They ask real simple questions. It's not difficult whatsoever. But if you have folks that aren't interested in doing voice verification calls but are still doing telephonic sales, with our hospital indemnity plan, the Advanced Plus Elite, you can do something called invite to apply. And what that does is it's going to send a link to the client, and then they fill out the application, and then they submit it, and then you get notified as the agent to go back into the system, open it up, sign it, and submit it, and then 4 minutes later, policy is issued.
What?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, so there's a lot of nice things that we've kind of came up with over the last 17 years of being in the hospital indemnity biz.
And you can track the app progress in there? To some degree?
To some degree.
That's fine. Yeah. Just so you can get an update. You can always call in, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely encourage everybody, if you're not sure about, how to ask a particular question on any of our products, please feel free to call into underwriters and ask for their opinion on how to answer a question instead of trying to take a stab in the dark, because you're in a better situation. So,
and Jeff has seen this too. We do a lot of marketing to help to get in touch with other businesses like ourselves to try to help them do what we've done. We've been notorious for many years for cross-selling, filling in the gaps really well. And cross-selling cancer and hospital indemnity plans to some people just seems so scary because they're having to ask for banking information and all that kind of stuff. Are there any tidbits, tricks, or tips that you've seen from you guys that really help to cross-sell your products from Medicare specifically?
I'm going to say that from an MA perspective, you're not going to sell a hospital indemnity at the same time as you're selling an MA. You're going to plant seeds during the MA appointment and let them know that you're going to talk about hospital indemnity when we're done with the MA appointment, because you can't sell both at the same time. You're going to confuse the client. We don't want that.
Yeah.
But that's one. I mean, that's one thing in terms of from a tips perspective is just plant seeds during the MA side of the world. Always make sure you're asking those probing questions.
Yeah.
Even from Med Sup side, it's, hey, who do you have your cancer plan with? And wait for them to respond. They're going to give you one or two answers.
Well, I actually like that approach because a lot of times some of the more aggressive agents will try to bundle really, really hard from the get-go. And what happens is you begin to lose the core application, which is the bread and butter of the business to begin with, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
So I believe we would wholeheartly agree with you on that one. And I know Justin Brock would too. He's preached that so many times that I could almost spat it out in my sleep. So, but a couple of more questions for you, and I don't want to take too much longer on this, but Jeff, before I ask anything else, did you hear anything you wanted to probe into?
All about the plans, probably not because I'm new to this, but I did have one question I've written down.
I bet it's technology.
No, it's not.
Darn it.
What feedback from agents did y'all receive over the past year that y'all actually implemented this year and made a change to on this plan or this portal? I guess you could say some technology there that, hey, that you're listening to the agents out there and making changes.
That's a good question.
It's, really, you'll see with the product design, trying to make it more flexible, wanting to give folks more options. I as I mentioned earlier, I only talk about from a presentation standpoint, my core being, base benefit, ambulance, cancer, and skilled nursing. But we have other riders too, like outpatient therapy, outpatient surgical, which we reduced the pricing on some of those riders that we didn't, we were a little out of whack before. So now those got reduced down. So now you got giving agents more options to be able to have, to what feels best in their situation. So we're always talking with the field in terms of, what is it that they would like, like even the fill the gaps tool. I'm sure, we, hearing agents go, well, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know what's going on, 3 states over. I got to go search it up and find it. Well, so we created a tool to try to, to be able to help that situation out.
Perfect. Thank you.
I got to ask this for some of the downline, and I'm sure there's people in our office who want to know, what trips do you got?
Currently, we're working on that. Quite honestly, I will tell you, I'm not gonna. There will be a fourth quarter bonus program.
What?
For hospital indemnity, and I don't have the specifics right now offhand, but there will be. I know hospital indemnity will be part of that. So, if you're writing a lot of HIP during during the AEP season, you can make some additional dollars. I'm a big proponent of saying, hey, we've got no problem, talking an hour, and trying to make the sale for MA, for the renewal. Why not spend an extra 10, 15 minutes to make the same dollars on handing hospital indemnity, and then you can add some more dollars on top of that.
Heck yeah, it helps with marketing, especially for the guys getting off the ground,
Well, and also you're also looking at it too, Justin, is that we're paying you as you're writing the business. You're not waiting until January or February to get paid.
So does it pay on issue or does it pay on first premium paid in by client?
If you're being advanced, it gets paid on issue.
Ooh.
If you're being paid as earned, it gets paid at date of issuance.
That's nice. And does it? I guess it would have an option you could pick in there where you
at the time of contracting, you would pick which way it would be. Yes. That's
nice. That's nice. And you mentioned an app bonus, I heard.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the app bonus? Do we know? Can you give us anything, man? We're squirreling over here. We need to know.
I know it's going to start in October. That's October 1st, I think, is when it's going to start. I don't have the specifics, quite honestly, yet. I should have them hopefully by the beginning of next week, and then we'll, keep your eyes out on on the emails that we send out. We try not to send out a frivolous email. Usually we try to give you guys great information just to try to help you grow and do your thing better.
And I was hoping to get the exclusive on the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we have to do another podcast on Monday before we announce it, maybe.
How can they follow you? I'm sure you've got social media handles or
I'm sorry?
How can they follow up with you? How can they follow?
Yeah, like your social media at handles, Facebook and Instagram. And
yeah, to be quite honest with you, I'm not so up to date on that information. I know you can find GTL on Twitter. I know we have a Facebook page for GTL. Trying to think of
Do you personally have anything like on LinkedIn or anything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're on LinkedIn.
I think you should see my name listed right, right on the screen here. That's the way it's spelled on LinkedIn. It's
Okay.
Demetri.
Yeah,
And
be sure to
Simos.
follow Demetri on LinkedIn. Are you anywhere else where we can give you a follow?
Yeah, absolutely. LinkedIn's the best spot because that's where I'll be putting out all the
I'm there right now.
all the company specific information.
Yeah, everybody get your phone out. We're gonna check this guy out.
And then if you want to follow me on my personal stuff, that's fine. But I do a lot of hockey with my boys. So
Do you?
yeah,
You're a hockey guy?
yeah, I'm a hockey guy.
We used to have a hockey team a long time ago in Tupelo. You remember, Jeff?
I do.
Like the T-Rex or
Tupelo T-Rex. They were a semi-pro for a while. So
yeah, it's great sports. So I get to I get the pleasure of getting to be involved with my kids with that stuff. So
and it's Demetri Simos, right?
correct.
Oh, I found you.
Yep.
I got you, brother. You're getting a.
I'll accept you. I'll accept you soon. We're done.
And I'm yep, there you are. We're pending. All right, good. Lock in Demetri, y'all. Give him a follow at GTL over on LinkedIn. So to wrap up our call today, man, any last words you want to leave with us? Why GTL? Anything like that?
I think it's having a broad-based product portfolio from one carrier is obviously helpful for you as an agent. And I don't believe you need to have all your bread in one basket, but have a couple baskets floating around out there. It's and having GTL being one of them. I think it'd be a good opportunity for yourselves and for your clients to be able to get some great benefits payable to them when they need them most. And that's really what what our mantra is around the building is we want to make sure we get folks paid when they need it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I wanted to bring up commissions. Commissions tell a pretty strong story about how much a carrier really cares about their brokers. It's not everything, but it is a big piece of the puzzle because when you rip commissions from brokers, you're saying, hey, we don't need you. So I really appreciate you guys and how you pay out agents and the product portfolio, man. It's pretty impressive. And then the technology side of it too. I've heard for a long time, you guys have been around, and every time I've been to a conference, you guys get brought up. So branding is working.
Oh, great.
Great. But yeah, I'm going to wrap us up on the call today. Go ahead, Jeff. I see you.
I'm good. Very informative today.
Absolutely.
I'm learning.
Absolutely. Well, catch us next time on the podcast. Yes. Again, my name is Justin Stark, and we got Jeff Center and Demetri with GTL. Give us a follow. Do all the things. Like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. We appreciate you.